Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Today I wanted to give you all a bit of an update on what I've been doing here in the shop. Things have been changing rapidly over the past couple of months. The first half of this year was really busy, lots and lots of work. The second half, not so much. Second quarter I guess. Second quarter this year has been dead for business. I've had nothing, but it's given me a good chance to get some projects done and to, get things moving out to my little property out in the middle of nowhere. Just visited it yesterday and bummed around. Beautiful area. It's incredibly quiet out there and there's no one around, and it's going to be really nice. Some of you may notice that the K&T mill has moved. It sat here for about 4 years and then I moved it over. The reason I moved it is for keyed shaft. So if I have a long shaft here, I can pass it through, and then I can, if that toolbox is out of the way, I can get a longer shaft through here. The reason I want to get longer shaft through here is because I'm building what I'm dubbing the key machine. It is almost a feeder mechanism that has some tricks up its sleeve to feed round bar into the K&T milling machine for the purposes of cutting keyway through the middle of it. At the first shop I ever worked at, I did a bunch of this keyed shaft. The issue with it took a long time. We used the little old Van Norman milling machine, the same one that Adam over at Small Town Machine Shop now has. We used that machine, and it took us a long time to cut keyed shaft. The arbors were bent, the cutters were dull, so it took us a while. And then at my next job, we used carbide cutters and we used a row of vices, and we went from 8 inches a minute max to, I would go up to 90 inches a minute almost instantly. It was very, very nice to see that speed increase with the better tooling, better machine. But this is sort of the next iteration of that. Instead of vices or clamps or anything to hold stuff to the table, this will have rollers, and it'll be a special little machine. And it'll feed keyed shaft through it pretty quick. I'm estimating that I can do a 20-foot bar in under 10 minutes. Whenever I first started, a 20-foot bar would take you all day. I think my personal best on a 20-foot bar at my first job was 4.5 hours. And then at the next job, my personal best was 1.5 hours, maybe. So this will get that number down by quite a bit whenever it's done. Of course, using carbide, horizontal milling cutters and all that. So these are the rest of the pieces. This shelf is all projects that I've got going on. These cylinders are for that project. I might take you along with how to shorten tie rod cylinders, because I have to cut these down almost halfway. It's very easy with this style cylinder. You take these studs out, you take this barrel out, you cut it, you turn it. Of course, match whatever features are on this end. You do the same thing to your rod, and Bob's your auntie. Shorter, and then you get shorter studs. I'm going to go so short, I might be able to just use grade 8 bolts for mine, which is the hope, because these need to be super stubby. This here is a 3-speed auxiliary box, auxiliary transmission. That I'm mating up to a transfer case for my F100, so that I can have 4-wheel drive and overdrive and more gears, because I've grown fond of driving the Astro and having the right gear for any RPM. Even if you have the horsepower to push any gear, it's nice to be in the right RPM. So that'll give me a 12-speed pickup truck, which will be kind of fun. This is all dozer parts. I haven't made too much progress on the dozer. That's on the back burner. I started the dozer project because I didn't have a way to move dirt. Now I have so many friends with tractors and other ways of moving dirt. The dozer project is on the back burner. Got the big vise down there. That needs to get done. Power hammer project is not even a thought right now. I'm not scrapping it, I'm not getting rid of it. It's just, I have so many more important things to do. That, I started it because I wanted a distraction for a while, and it was a beautiful distraction. I shouldn't have distracted myself, and I should have focused on better things, but that was fun for a bit. Some wheels for the key machine. I was researching rubber wheels, and I figured I'd have to pay about $500 for all the wheels I needed for this machine. I found these at the scrapyard, 20 bucks for 14 of them, whereas originally I was only going to buy 8, so they won't. I need to modify them. I need to be able to drive them off of a shaft, and these are all bearing wheels, but for 20 bucks I can modify them pretty easy. The hacksaw that used to sit here that I was going to turn into a mailbox post, that's gone. I ended up scrapping it because I had so many projects and I was overwhelmed. I was frankly very overwhelmed. So I had to get rid of some stuff. I got rid of that, and I got rid of some other equipment. This bandsaw is still here. I've modified it a little bit. I have a strong back on the back. I also have flat bar welded to the back. It's getting a lot nicer. There's still some stuff I need to do. It needs a stop because right now it goes way past, where it needs to stop. It needs a stop, and it needs a couple other little adjustments, but it cuts pretty straight. It cuts really nice. I'm still pretty damn happy with it. I need to get the coolant pump working, clean out the sump and all that, and it's going to be a nice little saw. It already is a nice saw, but of course Trekker here has been doing really well. It's been very nice having a dog around and not being alone 24/7. Provided some comical relief. So he's a good puppy dog. Trekker, who's a good puppy? Come here. Oh, it's a good puppy dog. Out here, it's a mess. Things are terrible. And for the other big thing I wanted to sort of talk to you guys about was that big vertical boring mill, the 52-inch chuck, 54-inch swing vertical boring mill. I ended up selling my horizontal boring mill to Adam over at Small Town Machine Shop because that horizontal boring mill, for the work I do and the work I want to do, it was not up to par. I need something with a faster spindle that is in better condition, not perfect condition, not even great condition, but I need a more modern machine to do the work I would like to do. I'd like to do lots of milling and drilling and such, and flattening large faces. That horizontal boring mill that I had was not the right machine. So I sold it to Adam because he can get much better use out of it than I can. It should work out pretty well for what he needs to do. He needs to do like excavator buckets and arms and things, and pad eyes on like pump bases, things like that, boring out pumps. So it should work out quite well for what he needs. But the Astro over there is loaded up with the bridge and some other parts of that vertical. My little F100 has a bunch of those parts. So that machine is completely out of Pasco Machine's yard. The guys that gave it to me, it's not in their yard anymore. It is completely in my possession. We have the Astro, my pickup, and another buddy's 40-foot step deck trailer fully loaded. So I'll go show you guys that. I filmed all that a while ago, so I'll cut to that footage. Well, we finished disassembling that vertical lathe. There are a couple of parts in here. Guard for the belt. Some parts on the Astro. Here's the bridge. These are the rams. This is where your tools go. This is, of course, laying down. It needs to go up. That's where your rails ride. Actually, that is the rail. That's where the bridge goes up and down. Those are the big screws for the bridge. Got to do some repair work on those. This is, I don't know what you would call it. It has the motor for raising and lowering the bridge and the gearbox. It goes right in the middle. It says Cincinnati High Pro on it. I don't think I can get you in here. You can barely see that High Pro. And then the rest of the machine. Here's the rest of the parts. That's upright column on one side. That's the other side with the electrical panel leaking. And this is the main gearbox, the 40 horsepower motor. This is the back of the machine. Upright bolts here, keys in there. This is the chuck. 52-inch diameter chuck. This is the front of the machine. It's pretty good. All in it with on my buddy's step deck with the Skinworth. I'm gonna make a short little video. And that's about all that's been happening here in the shop. Of course, Adam gave me a really nice stick welder over there, and I've been building ramps for my Astro, which has been, the welder's been incredibly nice. It's a Miller 330 ABP. Stick TIG, does aluminum, AC, DC. It's a really nice machine. Gave me a water-cooled torch to go with it. So I've been using it a lot. This here's the sink basin I was been working on for my camper. So that's what's been happening for that. That'll be the office quarters, and then the actual shop is going to be a 48-foot refrigerator trailer, reefer trailer. I did the math, and all of the machines I have in here will pretty handily fit inside of a 48-foot container. Of course, the big vertical boring mill will not. That is a very long-term project. That is not something I will work on, you know, as soon as I get out there. It's something that'll be under tarps for a while. I need to rip apart the gearbox and repair the gearbox, and you know, get my business, get some more steady work with my business. Of course, at the moment everything is dead. There's not much going on here, but that changes. It fluctuates quite nicely and quite regularly. So with all that being said, please like and subscribe. Hopefully the future videos will be more plentiful and better. I'm hoping to do some homesteading style videos for out there. Even though I won't, legally be able to live out there, I will be out there for 95% of my time because of the amount of time it takes for a machine shop, the amount of time investment you have. So I'll be out there almost all the time, and it'll be fun. So like and subscribe if you want to see more, and have a good day.